In this video we learn about inverse of a square matrix. If A is a square matrix, if A is a square matrix, square matrix means having same number of rows and columns. If A is a square matrix and AB equal to I, where I is the identity matrix equal to BA, then the matrix B is known as inverse matrix of A, is known as inverse matrix of the matrix A, and is denoted by A inverse. So how do we write A? Therefore what we are getting is B equal to A inverse, and it is unique. It is unique. Now one very important note which you have to remember is that note 1 is A inverse is not equal to 1 by A, and what does this mean? Simply it means that actually A inverse is a square matrix, which on multiplying with is a square matrix which on matrix multiplication matrix multiplication which on matrix multiplication with matrix A gives the product as gives unit matrix I. So A inverse is actually the matrix which on multiplying with A will give you the identity matrix I. It is not 1 by A, so do not get confused that A inverse is equal to 1 by A. It is nothing like 1 by A. And another important property which you have to remember about matrices is, suppose AB whole inverse is there, the inverse of AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse, So AB whole inverse, there are questions which are coming in the board exams where you have to apply B inverse and AB whole inverse is given to, and you have to find A inverse. So it's a simple one. Apply this rule. AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So there may be situations where you have to find A inverse and AB inverse and B inverse may be given. So this is very important formula which you have to remember. Now there are different ways of finding the inverse of a square matrix. One is by row transformation. In this chapter we'll learn row transformation. Before that we'll learn some rules of row transformation. So they are very important one which you have to learn. Remember them. Rules of elementary transformation. Elementary transformation. Rules of elementary transformations. In these rules, first one I will write is RIRJ or CICJ. That means we can interchange any two rows or any two columns. So this is very important step to find the inverse of a matrix when we are dealing with elementary transformation, that we will discuss in examples. So second one is RIKRI or CIKCI. That means any row can be multiplied with any constant on in elementary transformation. And the third rule is a very important one. We can add any two rows or two columns, or more columns also can be added. Ri becomes Ri plus Krj, or Ci becomes Ci plus Ckj. And important thing which you have to remember is that two rows, do remember that two rows cannot be multiplied, two rows cannot be divided. So you cannot multiply or divide two rows or two columns. Or also when we are doing elementary transformation, the transformation cannot work on any one single element. It has to be worked out on the whole row or on the whole column. So do remember, this is very important one. Learn these rules by heart them.